Hey guys, the wind is just positively howling outside, so I am bundled up in my sweater. So I just finished my Sunday review planning, which is something I've posted about the last couple weeks. I didn't want to talk about that specifically because it's kind of like the same old story, but it did get me thinking a little bit about the power of projects, which is something that I wanted to share today with this live session. So basically, what I mean by that is there are two ways that I see of doing any given task. It's you can have random just tasks. So for example, journaling. Journaling is like a random task. There's no greater project attached to it. It's just the act of journaling on a regular basis. Or creating a piano TV video is not attached to a larger project. It's just one-off tasks. Or trying to think of something. Or like writing songs in just like for the fun of it with no greater arc, just the idea of like writing a song. There was one other example, like the main one that I so I've been working on well, I'll get to that, but cooking a recipe is just an isolated task. So these are all things that we tend to set as habits. So for example, journal every day is a habit, or cook 4 recipes this week is a, but it's not attached to any sort of larger purpose aside from maybe just the larger purpose of journaling is just general self-improvement, or the larger purpose of creating YouTube videos is to help educate people and share content. The larger purpose of did I say this already? I feel like my brain is a little bit scattered today, but like cooking is just to become a little bit better at cooking, expand your recipe repertoire, etc. So that's all well and good. Having one-off tasks is all well and good. However, there is something to be said for couching these things in. I'm sorry, I'm like fidgeting with everything. I have like 2 pens here, of like a ponytail. There's something to be said for projects and organizing those ideas or just kind of like one-off habits into like a larger purpose. So using journaling as an example, I'm pointing my pen at you now. I'm not that caffeinated, but journaling is a great habit to have. But for me, I find that I journal more effectively, I journal more regularly and better when it's couched under the umbrella of a more meaningful project. So the meaningful project that I do with journals is at the end of every calendar year, I publish a print copy, like a basically like a novel, like a soft cover of my entire year's journal entries. So that when I'm journaling each entry for the year, I know that it's going toward this big overall like book that I'm creating, essentially, that I'm going to keep forever and just have forever. And that is a simple thing because all it means is that I'm keeping my journal on one single word processing doc throughout the year. It doesn't require pretty much anything else except maybe like an hour to throw the print copy together and get it shipped. But it makes the habit of journaling so much more meaningful. So another example that's more recent is with the project I'm working on with friends, the vegan cooking project, where we're planning on putting together a course, like a cooking course for total beginners. Um, it means that when I'm cooking recipes, I'm not just I don't know, creating recipes in a vacuum. I'm not just I like to play around with recipes or follow recipes or things like that. But if I don't have a wider context to it, I get a little bit lazy with it. I tend to turn to like old favorites. But when it's under the umbrella of I have to like make these recipes really good and test them and take pictures of them because it's for a project where I'm helping people learn how to do vegan cooking. Then all of a sudden, the act of cooking, something that I would be doing anyway, becomes way more meaningful and way more interesting because it's under the umbrella of a larger project. So another project that I think would be a really fun idea and something that I should do is just doing like a personal cookbook, something that you could share with friends and family. It's not that difficult. That'd be like a really great Christmas present idea, by the way. But to test a handful of recipes, take pictures of a handful of recipes, and then have that self-published and even just sharing with a few friends is a larger project that makes the act of cooking so much more interesting. So another example is with the songwriting thing, with writing music. So I tend to write music. I've been, go figure, I've been writing music since I was a kid. But anytime that I actually make like real progress in my songwriting and my ability to actually start and finish a song and not just like create random songs in a vacuum is when I have the pressure. It's a positive pressure, but it's pressure nonetheless of creating a music album, because all of a sudden that's the larger project. So the act of creating individual songs and fine tuning them and polishing them seems so much more meaningful as a result. And then to the YouTube videos that I'm doing on Piano TV, instead of just creating like one-off videos, which is all well and good, it all contributes to the education that I hope to provide people for free with that channel. But creating a course, on the other hand, something where the content is more organized, it's not just one standalone video at a time, but it's an entire series of organized videos. Suddenly that's a larger context, that's a bigger project that makes me a better teacher, because I'm not just thinking about one thing at a time. I'm thinking about, okay, how do I organize information in a way that's relevant to hopefully like a decent amount of people, in a way that's going to provide them some kind of, piano playing transformation. So I like to think in terms of projects. It seems like a lot of work. So if you have the project of writing a music album or creating like a print journal, it seems like, oh, that's a big task. And it just seems so much easier to do like the standard daily habit task. So just journaling every day or several times a week or whatever. But under the umbrella of something that's bigger and more meaningful, it doesn't actually add that much time. Like I said with the journaling example, it just adds like, I don't know, like an extra hour or two at the end of the year. And then I have this print copy. It adds time in the sense that I probably end up journaling more because of this. So for example, I was doing a word count. I've been doing yearly journals, print journals since 2015. And since 2015, the word count has basically like gone up significantly every step. So I think my first journal in 2015 was about 20,000 words. And my journal this year, and the year's not even over, it's already at 70,000 words. So just year by year, I end up writing a little bit more because I find the project more and more meaningful. So I guess my question to you is, are there skills you'd like to build or habits you'd like to implement or things that you're already doing that you could organize into a bigger project that wouldn't add too much extra time, maybe not even any extra time? I mean, in the example of cooking and creating recipes, if you're already in the kitchen cooking meals, it doesn't take a lot of extra time to do like a little teeny like extra planning and maybe like planning like some kind of cookbook. That would basically end up like, if you spent a year kind of collecting recipes for a cookbook, then that would end up being, I don't know, maybe like a 10-hour project at the end of the year or something like that. But you're still cooking anyway. But the cooking itself is going to feel more meaningful because you have this larger project of, oh, I'm going to create like a little cookbook for friends and family. So I encourage you to explore any areas of your life that that you are just kind of doing random tasks, but without the umbrella of a bigger project, and see if there's a way that you can projectify it to make it more interesting and meaningful to you without adding a whole lot of extra time and work. So just something I was thinking about today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will get my finger in your face. Okay, I want to explain this because there's so many times at the end of the video, it's just my hand screen, but it's because the stop the live thing button is like, there's almost no way to hit that button without putting my hand in front of the camera. So this is not that important, but in case you were wondering, my hand tends to be in front of the screen. That's why I think if I have to go like over and like this in order in order to hit the X to end the live thing. Anyway, I'm wasting time, but thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you tomorrow.